You understand? We're fighting for everybody in this room right now.
Art Riles preaching fast, fearless, physical, and that's what Baylor has been against the defending Rose Bowl champs in a back-and-forth first quarter. They look up at that scoreboard, driving the ball into TCU side of the field, trailing by 2 now. Ganaway, straight up the middle, still powering ahead for a first down. Glad you're with us here. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, and Samantha Steele. Remember, TCU, 25-game regular season win streak. A team that a year ago just dismantled this Baylor squad, 45-10 in a real fight here tonight. And that guy has a lot to do with it. Robert Griffin III. And a strike, and once again into the end zone is Kendall Wright.
Tess, he's wearing them out. They take their time. They find that it's man coverage, and Wright goes to work on Barrett again. I mean, Griffin is sitting back there because of the running game inside. They're finding that they have to play single coverage on the outside, and Griffin is wearing them out with it.
2 touchdown passes now for RG3. Second touchdown reception of the night for Kendall Wright. Oh, do we got a game in Waco? Gary Patterson is not used to sweating over his defense, Rod.
No, not at all. I mean, he thought coming into this game that if they handled the screen passes, that they'd be in pretty good shape. Well, it hasn't been a problem with the screen passes. It's been the trick screen pass. It's been the deep ball. And Kendall Wright has been involved in every last one of those touchdowns.
And there isn't a better defensive coach than Gary Patterson. TCU's led the nation in defense 5 of the last 11 years, but Kendall Wright is having himself a very special night. And they're going to loft this short as it is fielded by James, and he gets it out to the 40-yard line. Let's check in with Ryan Burr. Ryan?
All right, Joe T, we told you Youngstown State cut it to a 1-point lead, but back comes the Spartans. Kirk Cousins going up top to B.J. Cunningham. 55 yards, and Michigan State was in business inside the 20-yard line. LaVon Bell does the rest, takes the handoff, scampers outside, and just like that, Michigan State back up 14-6, 2:20 to go in the half. Joe?
40-yard line is actually TCU's worst starting field position, but Ed Wesley tries to make up for that, looking to spin free, but unable to get past Joe Williams. Let's check in with Sam.
Yeah, guys, for the first time this game, it is nearly silent on this TCU sideline. But make no mistake about it, Tank Carter is doing everything he can to get these guys going. When Jason Barrett came off the field after getting burned by Kendall Wright, he got in his face a little bit and said, hey, there's no time. No time to be down about this stuff. He was disappointed, but Tank Carter's doing his best to get everybody going.
Jason's had a tough go of it, Samantha. 2nd and 6 here. Sky Dawson looking to reverse field. And that's his quarterback out in front, and watch out for Dawson. Showing a little of that track speed. Ahmad Dixon was able to chase down the junior Sky Dawson, but a 32-yard gain on what is a design counter that we saw in practice this week, Ralph.
Yeah, the idea is to get you flowing and then simply let Sky Dawkins do it with his speed to get you out of position and show you a big play. Now what they do, once they get you thinking about that on the edge, they come back and pound you inside with those big running backs like Ed Wesley.
And here is Wesley. And this time, Wesley is taken down by Terrence Lloyd, who's perhaps the most consistent and steady of the Baylor defensive linemen.
When the outside game works for TCU, the inside game works, and vice versa. And they've got the backs to do it. It makes it easier for Paul Hall. He doesn't have to carry the offense the way Dalton did.
Josh Boyce goes to the far side for Paul Hall as Wesley is in the I formation as the tailback. Play action. Paul Hall, plenty of time, and a touchdown to Logan Brock. Paul Hall came into the game with one career touchdown pass. It was Brock who caught it. He goes back to him here to retake the lead.
Yeah, it's a two tight end set test, and they think run. And you simply have Brock go right up the seam while everybody's thinking about that running game with the big running backs, and they get an easy touchdown throw.
And Ross Evans tacks on the extra point. 23-21. Fifth lead change of the game with still 12:32 to go in the half. Good stuff.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Now through September 6th, see your Lexus dealer. And the Principal Financial Group. It's time to see your financial future. It's time to dream again with the Principal.
TCU up 23-21. A little Texas brawl here in Waco. 5 lead changes. Of course, Dallas sports fan, for everything you need to know about the teams you care about, you can log on to ESPNDallas.com. You can watch your daily Dallas Sports Center every morning. All the coverage you're used to from ESPN. It's got a local favorite, ESPNDallas.com. And Rod and I will have a post-game wrap on ESPNDallas.com following this Baylor TCU game.
You can log on right now and check on the greatest Dallas college football game. You know, Tess, we've got ESPN.com Dallas up here in the booth too.
You got everything working. You're Mr. Technology. Darius Jones now from the 5. And Jones, look at this! Just past the kicker and tripped up at the 40-yard line. That was Jonathan Anderson with a touchdown-saving tackle. Rod, did an Arena Football League team just move to Waco, Texas? This game is unbelievable back and forth.
My goodness. You know, and even highly recruited players like Jason Verrett, he's a corner. JC Transfer, having a tough night in his first collegiate game, which is a track meet. Kendall Wright has thrown a touchdown over him off a trick play and then beaten him a couple times in man coverage for touchdowns. But trust me, I've been there. That first game as a corner, it can be challenging, but you can bounce back from him. Jason Verrett will.
Back and forth they go. Now here's Ganaway getting to the edge. Stiff arm. First down, and tumbles forward to the 24-yard line. Good solid run by Terrence Ganaway as he stiff-armed Cuba out of the way. They are hurrying up at the line of scrimmage. Griff feeds him again, and look at Ganaway shredding now into this TCU defense.
Tess, you know, when you get your linemen on those linebackers, it's easy to run inside. Baylor has everything working now. The deep ball against man coverage. Speed to the outside. Ganaway power inside. The linemen getting on the linebackers.
First down at the 14 as all of a sudden Robert Griffin III takes a breath at the line of scrimmage and looks over. A frantic pace being set in this first half of action. What a fake. Touchdown, Bears. Oh, boy, did RG3 sell that. Jordan Nyber, the transfer from Stanford, on the receiving end.
And Griffin sold that fake. Both linebackers, Tanner Brock, Tank Carter, they both came flying up to the line of scrimmage, and Nyber just snuck in behind them.
That is blocked. 2 blocked PATs tonight. Each team has had one. That looked like big Braylon Broughton, so the score will be 27-23.
Hey, Tess, your linebackers here. Look at what happens. They are thinking run because of all the success that Baylor's had. They come flying up, and then you see Chris Gardner, 33, should be back there, can't get back. He's thinking run. What a great play fake by Robert Griffin III.
Rod, you and I, for years, have talked about our opening week game, and we always say the same thing. Typically, coming out of camp, the defense is ahead of the offense. Defense can just react.
Yep.
Athletes can just run to the ball.
Yep.
Not tonight.
Well, a couple things. We've got a TCU defense that's replacing a lot of guys. You know, Tank Carter is one of the few veterans back there. And so they're struggling a little bit, particularly in the man coverage area in the secondary. Baylor was not a great defense last year. They've made changes this year. They've gone to a different set. So you expect them to have trouble. You didn't necessarily expect TCU to have as much trouble defensively.
27 points against a TCU defense. Unheard of in recent years. Here's McCoy. Remember what he's done tonight. And this time, he is taken down just over the 26.
Nobody wants to kick off anymore.
A fast start tonight, indeed. 7 touchdowns, nearly 400 yards of offense combined.
Opening week, you typically have issues in your kicking game. And typically your offense is a little bit slow, a little bit off. Well, offense has been great tonight. Defense has been shaky. Special teams, at least tackling, has been awful. But the return men, fantastic.
Wesley and Tucker in the backfield. And this is Paul Hall, and he took a big hit that time by Sam Hall.
Welcome.
Sam Hall coming up and introducing himself to Paul Hall. Oh, listen to that.
Good, clean hit. Head up, eyes open.
You know defensive coordinator Phil Bennett is loving some hard-nosed defense.
Clear eyes, full heart.
He was talking it up all day yesterday, wasn't he? So after the 4-yard gain by Paul Hall, now Wesley gets loose. Ed Wesley crosses midfield for a big gainer down to the 45-yard line.
Well, we keep talking about these running backs, and you know that they're going to break them. They keep making guys miss, and that offensive line actually doing a really good job inside. Watch the way Wesley finds that outside after getting a great block inside by his left guard, Kyle Dooley, 55, and he just really cut off of that and did a nice job.
Well, the Super Frog likes that offense moving the ball. Ed Wesley's done plenty of that 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Paul Hall looking to lean on him here. Pump fake, goes deep. And that was thrown to the outside of Josh Boyce. Joe Williams tried to come over.
Yeah, Boyce frustrated there, and he actually toned it down a little bit. He's got a young quarterback back there, and he made clear it wasn't his fault, Boyce's fault. Now, I'm not sure you want to call out your quarterback publicly like that. I mean, right now, Boyce is the veteran. I mean, he's the guy that's played a lot more. And I'm sure he's a little frustrated. Had a drop early in the ball game. Hasn't had a lot of catches tonight. But he's a guy that's going to have to make plays for TCU.
This is Wayman James. And James spins for a 5-yard gain, and it was Sam Hall who came up from that safety position again.
The one thing is clear about Hall, he is a hitter.
Now this is an interesting part of the field, Rod, here on what will be a 3rd and 4. What do you expect out of TCU?
Well, they're right outside that scoring zone. They can't kick a field goal from here. I believe that they're going to go ahead and let Paul Hall, take a shot. I mean, he's actually done well. They're in actually 2-down territory. They could go for it on 4th down the way that their offense has moved the ball.
James swings out of the backfield. Paul Hall, and that is incomplete. Would have been good for a 1st down, but it was off the hands of Antoine Hicks.
And I see now, when you throw it, you don't get anything out of it on third down. Instead of running it on third down, I think you have to kick it now. I think now you take your chance of trying to pin them down. If you don't kick it and you go here and you don't make it, I mean, look at the short field. You're going to give this offense that's already put up 27 points on you.
Warhol's going to stay out on the field here.
Yeah, you know, they may make it, but I think this is too risky here. I mean, you're going to wake up this crowd and really get this team going on the Baylor side if you don't get this.
Has time, has a man stretching for the first down is Antoine Hicks, and a flag comes in.
It's going to be holding on TCU.
So it's an automatic.
Yeah, they pick it up.
First down with the penalty against Baylor regardless. So a smile breaks out on the face of Gary Patterson.
Relief. That was a big
sweating
gamble.
And running and turning and yelling. And now he smiles for a moment.
Well, that was a big gamble, and he knows it. And he felt like he had to do it, and he got it. He picked it up.
Well, we had a great visit with Gary the other night. Went out to dinner with him, and he was talking about the evolution of the program and now where they are and the type of recruits. And Andy goes off into the sunset of the NFL, and this is the kind of year you find out a lot about yourself.
Yeah. Well, it was actually date night with his wife, Kelsey, and we interrupted
you
that.
You barged in on that.
Yeah. And what did he bring up? 50 First Dates? That movie?
He's a big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan of the chick flick.
He was actually talking about it in relation to freshmen. He said they forget things.
Holding. Defense. Number 4. Hold was an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Remember the big offseason change for Baylor? Defensive coordinator Phil Bennett's on board.
Yeah.
Think he's fired up on a 4th down?
He knew how big that was. He knew that if they stopped him, that was a big momentum shift.
So now the Frogs with a fresh set of downs at the 29. Ed Wesley. And Wesley is corralled at the 27 by Nicholas Jean-Baptiste, the former walk-on who's been blossoming every year, a 335-pound senior.
Now remember the last time that TCU had a 2nd and short, they came with a formation of 2 tight ends, showed run, snuck one of their tight ends out, Brock, for a touchdown pass.
And it was in this area of the field. That was a 23-yard touchdown pass. Here they set camp at the 27 with a 2nd and 8. Wesley again. Ball came out. And it looks like they're going to rule him down.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. It looked like he was slipping, and then his knee hit, and then the ball came out.
So it'll make for a 3rd down at about 6.
This is another big 3rd down. Right now, the 25.
Options here.
Yeah, you know, 25, you're looking at a 42-yard field goal if you don't pick up another yard here.
Moss Evans was consistent a year ago. But let's see what they do here on 3rd down. That's a delayed handoff, Tucker, and Tucker is wrapped up by Terrence Lloyd. Good defensive play by Lloyd.
No, great play by Lloyd because he was engaged by a lineman. He disengaged from the block and came off and made the tackle. And that's a big-time play. Top of your screen, look at it. He's being blocked. He comes off the block and makes the play. If he doesn't make that tackle, they pick up a 1st down.
So out comes the senior from Burnett, Texas. His 4th year as the starting kicker, Ross Evans. This from 41, he's made from 44. And that was off to the left. And Phil Bennett says, way to go, Bears. The defense holds, and Baylor maintains a 4-point lead. 14th ranked team in the country, facing a fired-up Baylor team tonight here in Waco, and their D-Cord is leading the way.
Ryan Burr in studio checking out over on ESPN2. U.S. Open center court. A couple of Americans going to battle there. Jack Sock taking on Andy Roddick. Currently Sock up 2-1, but they are on serve. Deuce now in the second. U.S. Open, ESPN2 all weekend long. Currently Andy Roddick on center court. Joe T.
Samantha, anything down there? Samantha, anything? Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, and Samantha Steele back here in Waco, Texas. Baylor up 27-23. It's been a long time since the Bears were able to topple a ranked team. You go back to 2004 against the Aggies. Here's Robert Griffin III, and another well-placed ball to Kendall Wright, who's been the do-it-all tonight.
You know, Tess, they have been working this defense over the last 4 or 5 years. No one's played better defense than TCU.
Look at Terrence Ganaway. Nice spin move, kept his balance for a first down. Sam Carter finally got to him, but just good, hard running by Ganaway.
Well, good blocking at the point of attack. Missed tackles. 2 missed tackles. Great running by Ganaway. And again, this TCU defense, the last 4 or 5 years, they've been as good as anybody.
First down from the 47.
Empty backfield now for RG3. Some pressure comes. If he gets to space, watch out. But he was pushed out by Sam Carter. What a difference a year makes. The TCU defense. Last year, best in the biz. Tonight, Baylor's putting up points.
Well, and if you go back 3, 4, 5 years, no one's been better in total defense, in run defense, and pass defense.
Second and 5 from the 48.
And they've been in the top 5 for the last 5, 6 years or so, it seems.
I think Tim Carter has a lot to do with it. The screen game now. Tevin Reese. The ball came loose at the end, but the whistle came in. Kenny King is on top of Tevin Reese.
You know, Tess, when you've played great defense like that for so long, and you have a night like this, it starts to eat at the confidence of even your veteran players like Carter.
It's not who you are.
Yeah.
You're not used to it.
Exactly.
You don't know this to be.
And nothing you try, it's working. They try blitzing, they try man coverage, they try zone. When they play zone, they get run against. When they play man, they throw touchdowns on them.
Ganaway looking for that first down, and he's got it by 1.5 yards.
And it's not scheme. You know, coaches will tell you. It's about players.
Yeah, look at this. You go back to 2008. #1 straight through. Best defense in the modern era. Led him to a Rose Bowl championship a year ago where Tank Carter was the defensive MVP out in Pasadena. And once again, quickly out to Jordan Niver, the 6'6" tight end who transferred from Stanford.
Well, with Stanford having at least 3 tight ends on their roster who are going to play in the NFL, Niver was going to have a hard time getting a lot of playing time.
Second and 6 from the 38.
Herb Riles. This Baylor offense. They are moving it tonight. Griffin's going to take another shot. Kendall Wright. What athleticism by Kendall Wright.
And not a bad throw either.
Griffin put it where only Wright could get it, and somehow, some way, he did.
Yeah, and Patterson is upset.
I don't know about that right leg, Rod.
Well, Patterson is upset that Wright got away with a little push-off with the right hand. But it was such a slight push-off, it doesn't get called.
Amazing twist and turn and stretching out, but watch the foot as it comes down, and that's what the officials will take a look at. Replay judge is Jack McDonald. Remember, they need that indisputable video evidence to overturn it because the call on the field is a catch. So do they have that video evidence here?
Now there's the catch. Left foot is down.
Then
right foot's
the right
out.
foot comes
but
in.
it may be the left foot was already in bounds as he caught the ball.
Exactly. Watch that left foot. Does he have control of the ball when the left foot is already established?
Yeah, he's got the ball and the left foot was in there. That's going to be a tough call. I'm not sure there's enough to overturn that. The right foot, in my view, came down after he had possession, but he caught the ball, and it looked like his left foot was still on the ground when he caught the ball.
Kendall Wright is putting on a showcase evening. Gary Patterson is talking up to his DBs. That's to Karen Kuba. Patterson loves coaching up that defense, but he doesn't like what he's seeing here as Robert Griffin III is taking shots downfield and connecting.
Yeah, left foot catch, left foot down, now right foot out. I think that's a catch.
The advantage to Baylor is the fact that the call on the field is a completion.
Yeah, and you look right there. He had the left foot down and had his hands, both hands on the ball. I don't think you can overturn that.
After further video review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
8 catches for 159 yards now in the first half for Kendall Wright.
He is no slouch. He's got great body control, great quickness, runs really good routes. As you saw, outstanding hands. The country just hasn't known about him. You haven't seen a lot of Baylor.
Baylor is healthy on offense and loaded with athletes. And this is Glasgow Martin in the backfield. A direct snap now to Terrence Ganaway, and Baylor adds to the lead. Aaron Jones with the extra point. An 11-point lead for the upset-minded Baylor Bears. Ganaway straight through the middle, and a dagger straight into the chest of Coach Patterson. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, Samantha Steele here in Waco, where Baylor is just stunning TCU 34-23.
You remember when the triplets were rolling for Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys?
Absolutely, just up the road.
There's a version of that going on here at Baylor.
And Kendall Wright, the wide receiver, is leading the way.
He's playing the role of Michael Irvin.
And RG3 is showing what he has evolved into, the junior quarterback who some people say is a long shot Heisman guy out there. And this is Greg McCoy. Remember, he had a 73-yarder, a 68-yard return. He's looking for open space here, and he finds a lane, and a good return again for the senior Greg McCoy. Celebrating its 7th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed more than $2.4 million in scholarship money. So you can tack on a lot more to that with tonight's scoreboard as a late flag came in. Let's get the call.
During the return, early the block in the back. Number 32. Be a 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's Raymond James, the backup running back who plays special teams for Coach Patterson.
And now you want Paul Hall to be patient. A lot of scoring by Baylor. There might be this tendency to think, I got to rush and get it all back. And then the mistake happens. And then it starts to snowball. So he can't try and do things that don't work for him. Can't force it. Can't try to make something happen when it's not there.
First-time starter for TCU after the legendary run of Andy Dalton. And throws a strike to the flats here to Sky Dawson, who was tripped up right away by Mike Hicks and Ahmad Dixon.
Well, patience is the word for Paul Hall right now. The worst thing he could do is gamble. A nice, methodical, patient drive is what TCU needs, and not a big gamble, because Baylor is not going to give up a cheap one. They're going to be playing really soft coverage.
Sky Dawson now. Dawson looking for a block, and he lowers the shoulder for a first down.
Number 11, Sky Dawson.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Atlanta, presented by Pennzoil. Coverage begins on ESPN Sunday at 6:30 Eastern.
There's a lot happening in Atlanta this weekend. You got NASCAR, you got Boise State and Georgia Saturday night, so
that's going to be a great one. Number 5 Boise against number 19 Georgia. The second meeting between the two teams. Remember back in 05 they had the opener when Georgia was 13th and they routed Boise 48-13. Different story this time with the Broncos. First down, the pitch to Wesley, and he is ridden out of bounds by Brody Trahan. Let's check in with Sam.
Guys, Phil Bennett is about out of a voice. He has been incredibly passionate, just as we saw him in the meetings yesterday. He got his defense together and said, guys, you're a ball team. You can win this game. He told them just what he told us yesterday, guys. He wants them to push them to the boundary and not give up that field.
Now, Sam, you know Bennett, the longtime defensive guru, who's talking up what his task was with us yesterday. This Baylor defense, Rod, gave up over 30 points a game last year.
you know what? They were awful last year. To put it bluntly, they were not good. But they've changed their scheme. You know, now they're a nickel-based defense. 5 defensive backs on the field at all times. And they will bring a lot of pressure when they need to. It looks like that's Wesley that's down on the sideline over there.
At the end of that last play there. So as he makes the short walk.
But this defense believes in making the quarterback earn it. They're not going to give up a cheap one to Paul Hall. They want Paul Hall to prove that he can throw 6, 7, 8 passes in a row to get down the field.
Paul Hall out of the gun in 2nd and 7. Tucker and James in the backfield with him. Gets the protection and gets Boyce. And Boyce is able to secure it for a first down before he was ridden down by Chance Casey.
And so far, so good for Paul Hall on this drive. He has not tried to force it. He's taken what's been there. The quick out, you know, the quick pop to the screen, running it when they need to, but he's not tried to really throw it deep because it's not there. So he's being patient.
Here goes Paul Hall out to the edge, keeping his feet, and then he was ridden down hard out of bounds, and that TCU bench is looking for a flag as Brody Trahan pushed Paul Hall out. Trahan himself knows what it's like to be a quarterback, spent his first 2 seasons as a quarterback here at Baylor.
Oh, misses the tackle. Not going to get a flag here, and he was still up and right on the edge. Trahan did a nice job of trying to finish up over there.
As a 3rd-string quarterback behind RG3, made the move to now being a defensive starter. Incomplete as the pressure came by Terrence Lloyd, the sophomore defensive end for the Bears.
The last time that TCU was in this area of the field, they threw it on 3rd down and then went for it on 4th down. I'm thinking they'll be a little bit more patient this time and figure they've got 2 downs to pick it up here. 2:34 to go. No reason for them to be in a hurry.
That is James, but he is taken down. Good play of going low by Joe Williams. You know, interesting comment made about Joe Williams to us. This is a JUCO transfer that they're forced to put out on the field. They said he's not totally ready to play. He's coming up big in a spot like that.
Yeah, but they said if he played, he would play fast. He would go hit somebody.
And we're going to go for it here on a 4th and over a yard.
Well, we saw this one coming.
That's right. They did it last time.
Yeah.
Now 4th and a yard and change here. Shivers and Tucker in the backfield, as is Hicks in motion. Tucker tripped up. He came up short. Tracy Robertson dug in and got to Tucker.
That is all up to the official in the spot, because that was a good defensive play.
Did they give him the generous mark? Well, looks short of our line, but they will measure. Joe Williams and Tracy Robertson came in and blew it up.
Well, it started right at the point of attack. There was great pressure. Robertson, also Jean-Baptiste, made great pressure inside, which helped collapse the pocket. And a great job by Robertson getting so deep into the backfield.
Wow, just by that. Remember, our yellow line is not an official marker. It was well short on the spot of where our 1st and 10 line was. But the chain gang comes on, and Coach Patterson's offense stays on the field. Now that spot of the ball is being reviewed.
I think that's a good timeout call, not just for that, but because it's a good point to regroup defensively for Baylor, because you put so much into that.
You tell me, Rod, where's the knee, where's the ball?
Well, he's down before our marker, but you made the point about what the marker means. I mean, that was a really good defensive play, but it was all dependent on the spot by the official. And it looks like he spotted just a little bit further than where we saw that.
He spotted the ball inside the 31, but it looks like it should be beyond the 31. Here's the overhead.
Well, that looks more like it's around the 32 or just inside the 32.
Yeah, on the other side of the 31. The point is the ball currently is marked inside the 31.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Well, even if they don't get this, I like the challenge. Regroup defensively. Your guys put their heart and soul into this, and you want them to move on. Now you gather them up, you tell them what they need to do to move on. But you don't want them thinking about giving up the 1st down after a great play when they've got to come back and play another play to keep TCU out of the end zone. So I like the call to challenge this right here.
Meanwhile, if the spot on the field stands for Coach Patterson, his offense on the move, trying to tighten things up here, trailing by 11.
But no need to change anything. You've got 2 timeouts. You've had good game management by your quarterback right now. So if the call stands, I think if you're TCU, you keep doing what you've been doing. You take the little short throws. You run a little bit inside.
Agreed.
You've got plenty of time.
You know, and that really was the game plan coming in for Paul Hall. Hey, we've got a good defense. We're loaded at running back. We've got great receivers. Manage things. Go out and have a nice, easy night to get your starting assignment career off the ground here. But he got thrown into something, didn't he? He got thrown into an old track meet. 34 points on the board for Baylor, and TCU is looking to close that gap.
Welcome back to college football, Tess.
I'll tell you, Rod. You know, on a weekend where you look at those 2 big-time games on Saturday night, of course, Oregon and LSU and Boise and Georgia, but the rest of the schedule, there are people pointing at this game as the next best game. It's lived up to the hype.
I tell you, it's a nice lead into what you're going to see on Saturday. Hey, here's the chain on the other side of the field. That's the point.
Inside the 31.
Where you have to get. Inside the 31. That's that chain they brought it back.
After further video review, it is determined that the runner was down at the 32-yard line, meaning it's short. Therefore, it will be Baylor's ball, 1st and 10.
I think they got that right, Rod.
Yeah.
So they reverse it. The fans in purple, incredulous. The rest of Floyd Casey erupting in celebration.
If you are
a turnover on downs.
If you're a TCU fan, you go, how often do you see that? How often do you see a challenge on a 1st down call and then get it overturned?
Overturned, turnover on downs with under 2 minutes to play in this 1st half. A thrilling 1st half. So Griffin III and Ganaway back to business. Ganaway, look at him just go through that front seven for another first down.
You know, you've got your timeouts, all three, and a $1:42, and you've been owning this defense. No reason to settle here if you're Baylor.
Flag comes in as Ganaway takes another shot. Over 100 yards rushing for Terrence Ganaway tonight.
Ganaway, Kendall Wright, Robert Griffin.
Personal foul, chop block. Number 74, offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Real point of emphasis in college football.
Safety issue, protecting players, particularly knees, and players who are unprotected. Hits up high around the head. Emphasis on those two areas. Safety for players.
Art Briles said we are more confident where we are this year compared to last year. Says Robert Griffin healthy, feel good about the offensive line and the receivers. And he said, I think Ganaway will make some noise. Everything on the checklist checked off in this first half. Here's Griffin trying to escape, but he cannot, because he was run down by DJ Yendry, who wasn't going to let go of Robert Griffin III.
TCU is paying a lot of attention to Kendall Wright. He's attracting a couple of guys now. And that was where Griffin looked first.
2nd and 24. After that play, and of course, the penalty. They go to Wright on the screen, and look at Wright trying to shake free. Stays in. He's taken down by Takaran Cuba.
You know, once they had the penalty, I think it changed their mindset. They decided no need to try and rush down the field after losing so much yardage on that penalty.
Final seconds of this impressive first half by the Baylor Bears. Oh! Free ball for a moment there. They're going to rule that an incomplete pass, as Jared Salubi just corrals it. Almost a costly, sloppy moment there by the Bears, but everything else was just the way they wanted it to be. Remember, started off with the trick play. They went up 7-zip. TCU rallied and answered, took a 16-14 lead. And then Kendall Wright and RG3 and the rest of the Bears just roared their way to a 34-23 halftime lead. Now, this is the norm for Gary Patterson. Gathering the team before they go into the half, talking about what he saw, what the message will be, getting everybody's attention. Not anything new, not because of the circumstances of being down 11 to an upset-minded Baylor team, but you know that halftime speech is going to have a little bit of fire in it. The Dell halftime report is coming up in moments as Wright and Griff give a little salute. Let's head down to the field to Samantha Steele.
Coach, most first-time starters would start pressing and start trying to force things. How do you assess your QB's play in the first?
Well, Casey's done a good job offensively. Actually, we've run the ball. He needs to slow down. You know, for us, defensively, we've got a new corner in the boundary. We haven't played very well over there. So we're at, if you let them throw it over your head, it's really hard to win ball games, and right now they're doing that. So we got to find ways to get them stopped.
Coach, you're not used to much adversity on this team. How do you prioritize the things you need to change in the second?
Well, we're going to go in. You haven't seen us panic. We're going to go about our business. Again, I always talk about program, not about one ball game. But we came here to win, so we got to find a way to stop them. Some guys are going to have to step up.
All right, good luck in there. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Joe?
Defensive backfield is going to have to step up. Now, let's join Ryan Burr, Mark May, and Lou Holtz back in the studio for the Dell halftime report. Gentlemen.